All right, so I'm sitting inside of a 2018 Honda Civic. This is the Coupe, so it's a two-door, and this is the LXP, the model right above the base. I just want to walk you through some features and benefits and explain what they are and how they work. I'm going to start on the key down here. So your key, you're going to notice the lock button, the unlock button. Right here, this is one that commonly people don't know. It's the remote start. To use remote start, you always want to press the lock button first and then press and hold the remote start button to fire it up. Car will run for 20 minutes, afterwards which it'll turn it off. When it does fire up, it'll either turn on the AC or the heat and adjust accordingly to what the outside temperature is. So 74 is kind of your home range, whether it's bring the heat up or the AC down. You will see that you have a trunk release there, and then there's a panic button to set off the alarm. Now there is a physical key that'll open the door. It's this metal piece right here. You can pull this switch and slide it out, and this will get you in the door. So even if the battery died, you could still get in. The plastic piece is where the chip is that starts the car. So this is the piece that needs to be in the car. So if you're valeting your car, you can hand this piece to the valet guy and keep your keys all on your key ring, much like this very large key ring I have here. So moving over to your door. General controls over here, everybody knows. Your window controls, window locks, your door locks, and then your mirror controls. So left and right will control your mirrors, and then the pad will adjust each mirror. So they're powered mirrors. Moving up, I do have a vehicle stability assist is right above here. So you'll just see as a car with squiggly lines. And what that does is in the event that you go into a skid, it'll transfer power to whichever wheel has less traction to help correct for it. Only time you'd want to turn this on is if you were stuck in the mud and wanted to spin your tires. To turn it off, you'd press it, hold it for a couple seconds, and it'll turn off. Below that is your tire pressure monitoring system, so your reset button is right here. So if you see this symbol pop up on in your dash, it just means when your tires is low and you need to check them. In this particular model, it's not going to alert you as to which tire it is. It's just going to alert you that one of them is low. Be aware too that if you're in weather where it drops from heat, hot and cold to hot drastically overnight, that sometimes it can set this off. It's just the contraction of the rubber, so be aware of that. Moving over onto the steering wheel. So the plus and minus controls right there are your volume controls, and then left and right will switch between a couple different things. So it can jump between your favorite stations if you have those set up. It can jump between tracks if you're listening to something via USB, Bluetooth, things like that. So be aware of that. Down here are my Bluetooth controls, so to answer a phone call, to hang up or go back, and then voice command. Moving over to the right side of the steering wheel is going to be my Bluetooth controls. So, or excuse me, not my Bluetooth controls, but my cruise controls. So to set cruise main, I will press this. You'll then see this green box come on up there, so you can see a flashing cruise main. That means these are now ready to be set. So if I was going down the road, I could just press set and set it, and then cancel and resume. So pretty standard stuff here. If we were in other models, you could see where there's spots for other buttons. Moving over to the left side here, I do have auto on-off headlights. To set them to auto, you just set the hash mark right there, or I can go full on if I like to turn them on and off myself. My parking lights. And then on the other side is going to be my windshield wipers. So easy enough, nothing to it, and you pull it towards you to throw up some water or soap, I should say, onto the windshield. It's a digital display, which I really like, so you know exactly how fast you're going. Then you can see you have the tack around the sides. You'll see these two white lines up here. Those will light up either white or green. What that is it's just a system set up that if it's lit up green, it means the way you're driving is going to affect your gas mileage in a positive way. And if it's faded out to white, it means it's going to affect it in a negative way. So it's just kind of an interactive way to view your driving. So it's kind of nice. You know, you can make it a game if you want. If not, just enjoy the lights and let it be what it is. To jump through your trips, you do have a button right over here. You can see my thumb on it, and I can jump through to my range, both trip A and trip B, my oil life, things like that. When your oil life finally does get down to that 15%, you'll get an alert right there. It'll say like A1 or A2 or B1 or B2. You can look in your manual. It'll actually tell you what the dealership's going to recommend to you. So that way, if you're one of those people who's a little bit worried about going in and being like, man, I don't know if they're just selling me everything in this, under the roof to make money off me, check beforehand, and that way you kind of have an idea for what they're gonna offer you up. Moving over here. Your center stack's pretty simple layout in the LXP model. You gotta go up to the next model to get that 7-inch touchscreen, so if that's what you're interested in, just know that you're one model up from this. But as far as this goes, you'll notice it isn't a CD player, but does still show like it does. As far as controlling the brightness of the screen, so if you get in that late night and it's really bright, you can affect it right here. My radio control is obviously right there, which I just turned on. Media control, so this will allow me to jump through USB, Bluetooth, you know what I mean, these two options. So if I have something hooked up, your USB is actually down below, so you can see it actually right there, and you can run the wires up through here, and it actually has little tags that'll hold the wire, so if you're charging your phone, the cord won't drop through, and that means you don't have to have wires running around the sides and stuff, so it's just a little bit more clean look. On the other side, you'll notice there is a 12-volt adapter, so if you're running like your own GPS or something, you had a TomTom or something set up, you could have that power too. So now we know the media controls. As far as this is where I would be setting up my speed dial, so just adjust to whatever station I want, and then press and hold till it beeps, and then it'll show you now it's set to 1, so nothing to it. Your volume control is also your power to turn it on and off. So just be aware that's what that is. Jump into your next track, same thing I was showing you on the steering wheel. And this also works for Bluetooth and everything else. Moving over here to my Bluetooth, once I've connected up a phone, which if you haven't connected one, this is how you would do it. It'll prompt you, would you like to add one? Yes, then press OK once you have your Bluetooth turned on, and that's how I'm selecting is. And then it'll prompt you through. It's pretty simple, real easy process. My equalizer is gonna be right here, so as far as affecting bass, you know, mids, trebles, fades, all that stuff, it's right there and available to you. And then if you accidentally jump into the wrong menu, important button, your back button. Your menu button right here will allow you to get to a couple different things as far as adjusting the clock, scanning around your different settings as far as, you know, Bluetooth. If you needed to add a second phone to the car, you know, you could jump in here and go add a new device, that kind of thing. Display adjustments, rear camera if you want guidelines and things like that. Display change if you want audio on, or if you want to put your own wallpaper up. Wallpaper you could load up through the USB down there that I was talking about. Just be a JPEG, and you could load it up and put on there. So if you absolutely love a sports team or your favorite dog, your grandkids, you know, whatever it may be, I'm sure you can come up with something good to put on there. AC controls are pretty simple, single setting. So I've got how much air, I've got hot or cold, and then where I want the air to go, but it is a digital display. Moving down over here, two important buttons that I get questions about all the time. Brake hold button. So what this button is set up to where if I come, if I'm in traffic and I have the car in drive, I can press this button, and when I come to a complete stop, while the car's in drive, it'll hold the brake for me, so I don't have to like switch over to park. So if you're in like stop and go traffic and you keep like, you know, shifting to park and then moving to drive and then going 10 feet and then that kind of thing, that's what this is for. It's a convenience feature, but keep in mind this won't work if you don't have your seatbelt on. So if you take your seatbelt off at like the drive-through or at the bank, this won't work for you. Parking brake is electronic, so to set it, all I gotta do is put my foot on the brake and lift up on this button. When I do, you will see brake come on in there in red. You can see it over there in the bottom right corner. And to release it, I press down on the trigger, it turns off. So you can see it coming on and off right now. So yeah, foot on the brake, press down, it releases it, and you'll feel it under the pedal, you'll feel it move. Econ button right here, whenever I turn this on, you'll see a green leaf come up there. So there's my green leaf flashing at me. It just means it's gonna improve gas mileage. How it works though, shuts down some of the electrical systems on the front of the car, affecting things like your accelerator and how fast you'll take off, and your AC unit as far as how fast or hard it will blow. Center console setup, I do have a sliding shift right here, and then cup holders, and then I have a huge cup holder if I've got like a massive drink that I want to put in there, a big water bottle. I'm sitting in a rally red version of this car with the black and ivory interior, so this is a two-tone interior, so it resembles a lot of my older model Accord coupes, so super sporty looking as far as just a stock setup. You'll notice the back end, it just slopes deeper, so if you were in a sedan, this would be a little bit higher up as far as the back goes. That's a quick rundown. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Comment on the YouTube video. You can always call me, 512-443-4300, and ask for Justin. Or you can email me, the letter J, and then Fuller, my last name, F-U-L-L-E-R, so jfuller@howdyhonda.com. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you much.